Good evening. There was massive ruckus both inside and outside Parliament today. So bad was the pandemonium in Parliament that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was scheduled to respond to the debate on the presidential address at 5 p.m., he couldn't do so. And there were multiple issues, multiple fires that were lit. Books versus books, Sardar versus Gaddar, and that Sardar versus Gaddar and book versus book showdown is our top focus on India First.
Protests stalled the Prime Minister's Parliament address. Did the Congress plan this pandemonium?
आप देखिए क्या होता है के तौर पे सांसदों को सस्पेंड भी किया गया
Rahul mocks the Prime Minister, says Modi is scared. But the BJP alleges a bid to attack the Prime Minister.
सवाल किया और उस आगे आगे प्री प्लान महिलाओं को रखा आगे सबसे महिलाओं को रखा पीछे अपने लोग आए इनकी पूरी मनसा आज लड़ाई करने की थी
The parliament turns into a battleground as Sardar versus Gaddar row erupts. Books turn into political weapons. Is ugly politics derailing democracy? That's the big focus on India First with Gaurav Sawant.
Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi was in the line of fire of the Treasury benches for calling Union Minister of State for Railways Ravneet Singh Bittu my traitor friend. Bittu immediately shot back, calling Rahul Gandhi and the protesting leaders their desh ke dushman. But the BJP is now raising the issue, saying this is not just an insult to one Sikh leader, it's an insult to Sikh community, calling Bittu a traitor. Union Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, he joins me on India First in a moment from now to explain how calling Bittu a traitor or my traitor friend is an insult to the Sikh community. We'll just come to the minister in a moment. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As always, let's get started. So Parliament was stalled for the third day in a row today as yet another political flashpoint added fuel to that disruption fire. Sardar versus Gaddar politics escalated, and in the eye of a storm is Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha Rahul Gandhi, who called Union Minister of State for Railways Ravneet Singh Bittu a traitor, my traitor friend. Bittu hit back immediately, calling the LOP and protesting MPs desh ke dushman. But this war of words has now snowballed into a larger political conspiracy, with BJP accusing Rahul Gandhi of insulting the Sikh community, and Sikh leaders across the BJP not only demanding action against Rahul Gandhi but also an apology from him. The Congress has rejected the charge. The Congress in fact has doubled down. They've counterattacked the BJP. We get you more. Of course, Union Minister Hardeep Puri joins me in a moment from now. But before that, this report.
Hello. Here is a traitor walking right by.
Ghaddar.
Hello, brother. Surrender.
Desh ke dushman. A bitter banter between Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi and Union Minister Ravneet Singh Bittu, who used to be in the Congress once. It all happened when Rahul Gandhi went to greet suspended opposition MPs protesting at the Makar Dwar outside Parliament. Just then, the Union Minister approached the stairs to enter the house. Rahul took a jibe at Bittu, calling him a traitor.
Here is a traitor walking right by. Take a look at your face. That's what it looks like. Hello, brother. My traitor friend.
The comments by Rahul drew laughs from opposition MPs. It was then Bittu's turn to hit back. He called the opposition anti-nationals. Later, Bittu described the Congress as an anti-Sikh party.
बिल्कुल मैं तो इस चीज का जरूर भी मेरे मान मर्यादा के लिए मैं स्पीकर साहब को भी कहूंगा भी अब अंदर तो थे अब बाहर भी ये हमें गेटों पे घेर के अब शब्द बातें कर रहे हैं.
Sikh leaders in the BJP slammed Rahul and urged Speaker Om Birla to take action against Gandhi.
अरे मेरे भाई, अगर ट्रेटर है तुम्हारे और भी कई दोस्त यार होंगे, मित्र होंगे जो ट्रेटर होंगे. But then why do you want him to come back if he's a traitor? No, it's a mindset. Desecration of Golden Temple, 1984, और day in and day out पहले तो होता था कि अब देश से बाहर निकलते थे तो ऐसे शब्द इस्तेमाल करते थे, देश की trying to undermine the country.
जो सिख आर्मी के अंदर लड़कर पाकिस्तान को हराने वाले सिख थे, उनको जिंदा जलाने का काम इस गांधी परिवार ने किया। देश में अगर कोई गद्दार है तो वो गांधी परिवार है। हम जरूर, मैं आज ये कहना चाहता हूं कि माननीय स्पीकर साहब को भी ऐसे लोगों पे कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए। इस मानसिकता का कोई स्थान नहीं है इस भारत देश के अंदर।
And the Congress rubbished BJP's charges.
बिट्टू जी भी बोल के गए देश के दुश्मन राहुल गांधी को।
ये तो पता नहीं कि देश का दुश्मन है कौन। ये तो देश की जनता बताएगी कि देश का दुश्मन वो है जिन्होंने परिवार, जिन्होंने इस देश के लिए अपनी जानें कुर्बान की है, कि वो लोग हैं जो धोखा करते हैं, वो लोग हैं जो पीठ में छुरा मारते हैं।
The Sikh community and Congress share a strained past due to the 1984 riots that killed thousands of Sikhs in Delhi after Indira Gandhi's assassination by Sikh bodyguards. The Congress later gave India its first and only Sikh Prime Minister in Manipur Singh, but the ghost of 1984 still haunts the Gandhis. The face-off between Rahul Gandhi and Ravneet Bittu has now sparked what many would call a needless controversy. With Piyush Mishra and Maushami Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now on India First is Union Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, former top diplomat and author. Mr. Puri, welcome. Why is the BJP so upset, sir, with the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi calling Minister of State for Railways Ravneet Singh Bittu my traitor friend?
Gauravji, I don't think it is the BJP alone that is upset. I think the whole country is upset. The Sikhs are a small community, less than 2% of our population. I think about 1.5 or 1.6% of our population. We are a proud people. 20% of the armed forces have turban Sikhs serving in them. I was deeply troubled as a Sikh, as a proud Sikh, that a member of my community is labelled a traitor. By whom? By somebody who should have known better. He was a member of his party. Okay, you can be upset that Mr. Ravneet Singh Bittu left the Congress and joined the BJP. But so have so many others. I've got so many of my friends and colleagues in Punjab who were earlier in the Congress who are here now. Today I did a press conference and two of my other colleagues on the press conference were, one was with the Congress, Mr. Lovely, the other, Sirsa ji, was with the Akalis. Now, you can change parties, but political language, political discourse, both within the house and outside, has to be couched in civility. It has to be couched in dignity. You can't call somebody a traitor. The word traitor means that you have committed treason against the state, against your country, against your nation. And I find that completely unacceptable. And I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi, whose family was responsible for the desecration of the Golden Temple in 1984, should know better. I know he was not too young then. Must have been 14 or 15 years old. Why did he go and use language like this?
So you're saying discourse has to be civil, it has to be polite, and I completely agree, sir. But Mr. Ravneet Bittu also shot back, calling Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition, Desh ka dushman, or words to that effect, sir. So is that appropriate, calling leader of opposition enemy of the nation?
I think Ravneet Bittu was too polite. What happens is that Ravneet Bittu, they tried to ambush. He was coming up the stairs just before the parliament session commenced this morning, and Rahul ji, the honourable leader of opposition, reached out to put out his hand and said, "Here is a traitor, my friend," or something. "Why are you coming back?" So Ravneet Bittu didn't take his hand. Instead, he said, "You are Desh ke dushman." Now, anybody who insults a community, look, Ravneet Bittu's grandfather, a former Chief Minister of Punjab, Sardar Bhyan Singh, fell to an assassin's bullet. Yes. So if Rahul Gandhi claims that certain degree of sacrifice, in his country from his family, so is Mr. Bittu. So to call somebody like that a traitor, I think is in very poor taste. I find the language unacceptable, and I think Mr. Bittu's response was absolutely the correct one.
Okay, but the fact that you've also, calling him, Rahul Gandhi calling Ravneet Bittu my traitor friend, linking it to the attack on the Harmandir Sahib, to the Darbar Sahib.
No.
Sir, go on, sir. My point is...
You can call somebody No, whatever your point you have, Gaurav, I respect that. You're a journalist, you're a senior journalist, but you don't call somebody a traitor. You can say, oh, aap mere ko chhod gaye, you left me, you so-and-so, but you don't call a traitor has a very serious implication. Unless you're not familiar with the nuances of the language, a traitor means somebody who has committed treason against the nation. The Sikhs have been in the forefront of fighting for the nation. I reminded them about the 350th birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur, about, the shahadat of the, Sahibzadas. The fact that a lot of Sikhs take great pride in having sacrificed, of having been martyred for the life. Guru Gobind Singh Ji's life is full of that, when the Khalsa was established. So I'm afraid Mr. Rahul Gandhi has some answering to do.
So, but the Congress is not backing down, sir. The Congress party is hit back. In fact, Pawan Kheda, he's doubling down on this. He's called Ravneet Bittu a lowly traitor who sold ideology for power, or words to that effect. In fact, Supriya Srinath, Congress party leader and spokesperson, she said, Ravneet Bittu, tum gaddar ho. Gaddari ki saza Punjab ki janta ne tumhe di. 2024 elections he lost from Ludhiana.
Look, let me just put something to you. Ravneet Bittu, his family lineage, his own standing, and I don't think he needs certificates from Pawan Khera. So whether it's Supriya Srinath or anything, I don't want to get into that. That's a political sacrifice. You are very upset that somebody who was a part of you went there. But listen to me. Do you endorse the use of language like this? Traitor. I don't think Mr. Pawan Khera or Ms. Supriya ji have applied their mind. As far as I am concerned, it's an open and shut case. They should introspect. There has to be deep anguish there. All right, desecration of Golden Temple was bad enough. I don't know how Sikhs can even be seen with them. But in today's day and age, you saw the reaction not only from the BJP, but Sikhs all over the world are reacting to that and finding it unacceptable. That's all I can say to you.
Okay, but the Congress says all of this is BJP's manufactured outrage, and it's very clever diversionary tactics from issues that that Rahul Gandhi as leader of opposition is trying to raise on the floor of the House. He's trying to raise General M.M. Manoj Mukund Narvane's book on Galwan. He claims that the Prime Minister's fear or Indo-US trade deal, those issues, the focus is shifting from there and coming on to this outrage, sir.
No, let me take whatever you are saying. If the Congress is saying it, I'm amused. If the BJP can manipulate a situation to the extent that it can get Rahul Gandhi to use these words, then I must say that BJP is either a ventriloquist. We can, like a puppet, get him to say, and it speaks very poorly. How could the BJP manipulate this? This, I think, is reflective of a deep-rooted angst bordering on hatred for the Sikhs, that he is able to say this. I mean, you look at the opinions of other Sikhs there. How can the BJP make Mr. Rahul Gandhi say it? Okay, now once he said it, now they're trying to find their way out. No, BJP is manufactured, the Sikhs are being... Look, the Sikhs cannot be manipulated by anyone. We are proud people, hardworking people, maybe a little emotional. But I think to suggest that the BJP has manufactured this is not correct. Insofar as diverting attention is concerned, I was in the House at 5 o'clock. Do you know what happened? The Congress's own MPs came and blocked the entrance on the side. See what their conduct has been. So let us get this clinically straight. Today, the Congress has a lot to answer for, and this issue isn't going away, whatever the Congress says.
Okay, I mean, this clearly is an issue that is being talked about very extensively and in different parts of the country, including in Punjab. But what I also want to understand from you, when the Congress party says Rahul Gandhi is not being permitted to speak on the floor of the House as leader of opposition, but BJP MP, your colleague Sir Nishikant Dubey, he's been allowed to speak, quote from books, quote excerpts from books. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra says that these blatant double standards are being followed, different rules for the treasury benches and the opposition.
No, I think Gauravji, we are digressing from the fact. Mr. Gandhi was quoting from a book which hasn't been published. Mr. Nishikant Dubey had others. I don't want to get into that debate. I don't think in this debate, today I told you what I saw in the House myself. At 5 o'clock I was present and we had a very interesting situation. The Congress members got into the well. They didn't even allow the passage where our leaders walk in. So they have disrupted the House. Anything else is just baloney. So let me just tell you, I think they will have to answer this message about traitor. I think it has travelled quite far, and I think some anguished introspection is required by the Congress. It would be better just to, say that it was, we're very sorry and this is not it, that is not it, but to, double down on this. I don't think that's good political strategy by them.
Okay, because they say that a proud Sikh, late Dr. Manmohan Singh, became Prime Minister of India, and their bar wasn't aimed at the Sikh community. It was aimed at one individual who they feel was a traitor to their cause or their party, who, according to them, just switched, flanks from the Congress to the BJP in their view for power.
No. I think, Gaurav, we are expanding this conversation way beyond the use of the word traitor. How the Congress party dealt with Shri Dr. Manmohan Singh is another issue. Do you want to? Should I remind you? The cabinet passed an ordinance, and Mr. Rahul Gandhi didn't care who the Prime Minister was. In a press conference, he tore up the ordinance. So let's not go into those things. Should I tell you what other members of the Sikh community have said about the Congress party? Let's not catalogue that. Today, what is here for discussion is a word traitor has been used. If you use that against Mr. Bittu, whose own grandfather fell to an assassin's bullet, and what the reaction in the Sikh community is, I would advise the Congress party and anyone who's listening into your program that they should be very careful. Political discourse is not carried out through language like this.
And will the BJP continue to raise this in Parliament even tomorrow? The Congress continues, and if the Congress continues in their way...
Gaurav,
go on, sir.
Gaurav, I can tell you very clearly that I am here to respond to a particular question. How will the Congress party behave? I cannot hold them to account. Insofar as the BJP will do everything it can to bring such use of language and such obstructionist behavior to everybody's notice. And thank you very much.
Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, for joining me here on this India Today special broadcast. Many thanks.
Thank you very much.
So Hardeep Puri wants Rahul Gandhi to apologize. Now, BJP sources are telling India Today that the BJP is planning nationwide protests against Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, and his remarks calling Ravneet Singh Bittu my traitor friend. The BJP is planning to organize protests not just in Delhi and in Punjab, but across the country. And this isn't restricted just to a day-long protest tomorrow, but will continue till Rahul Gandhi apologizes. There are demonstrations that are expected as the BJP scales up its attack, saying and insisting this isn't about an individual, this is about insulting the Sikh community, and they want Rahul Gandhi to apologize. Now, I want to once again take you back to what's happening in Parliament. So you saw those images of protests that happened outside the Congress Party headquarters. You saw what's happened at the Makar Dwar, the entrance of Parliament. Now I want to take you inside the Parliament. And here was another fight, books versus books. So while Rahul Gandhi waved former Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane's book, his memoirs that the BJP says remain unpublished inside the Lok Sabha, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, he escalated the showdown. And he came with multiple books targeting the Congress Party and the Nehru-Gandhi family, their legacy, with alleged scams, despite being reminded of the same Rule 349 that ruckus spiraled. Papers were torn once again flung in the direction of the speaker. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra actually slammed not just the BJP for the disruptions, but then she also raised questions that why is it that Rule 349 is applied on Rahul Gandhi, he's not allowed to speak. The same Rule 349, why is it that Nishikant Dubey is permitted to speak? And from Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to Indira Gandhi to Rajiv Gandhi continue to level allegations one after the other. We get to more in this report.
PM comes, I will go physically and hand him this book.
मैं आपके माध्यम से सदन को उस किताब के बारे में, उन किताबों के बारे में बताना चाहता हूं जो नेहरू परिवार, कांग्रेस परिवार के गद्दारी, मक्कारी, भ्रष्टाचार और अय्यासी से भरा पड़ा है।
Torn papers, loud slogans, adjournments, and a full-blown showdown in Parliament. Not over the budget, not over the President's address, but over books. Even as the budget session is underway and the discussion around the President's address continues, politics is revolving around everything except the agenda of the day. Outside Parliament, Congress MPs staged a protest with leader of the opposition Rahul Gandhi waving the memoir of former Army Chief General M.M. Naravane.
Every youngster in India should see that this book exists. This is Mr. Naravane's book. नारावने जी की किताब है और मुझे कहा गया है कि मैं इस बुक को कोट नहीं कर सकता हूं। तो if PM comes, I will go physically and hand him this book so he can read it. And उनको पता लग जाए कि उनकी सच्चाई क्या है, देश को पता लग जाए।
But the bigger storm erupted inside the Lok Sabha. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, in what can only be described as a book barrage, arrived with nearly 10 books targeting the Congress, the Nehru Gandhi family, and all their history of alleged scams.
यहाँ किताब पर चर्चा चल रही है, एक किताब पर चर्चा चल रही है, वो किताब जो आज तक छपी ही नहीं। मैं आपके माध्यम से सदन को उस किताब के बारे में, उन किताबों के बारे में बताना चाहता हूं जो नेहरू परिवार, कांग्रेस परिवार के गद्दारी, मक्कारी, भ्रष्टाचार और अय्यासी से भरा पड़ा है और वो सब छपी हुई किताब है सर।
The chair repeatedly reminded Dubey that he is not permitted under Rule 349, but his microphone was not switched off, and the uproar spiraled with papers being torn and thrown. And within minutes, proceedings were disrupted again, forcing yet another adjournment. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi hit out sharply at the BJP, accusing the government of using Nishikant Dubey as a deliberate disruptor.
निशिकांत दुबे जी तभी उठते हैं जब सरकार की इजाजत होती है, जब सरकार कहती है कि जाओ हाउस को डिसरप्ट करो।
Dubey remains defiant, says that multiple books targeting the Nehru Gandhi family were banned by earlier Congress governments and called for a discussion in the House on the same.
मेरा स्पीकर साहब से आग्रह है और यही मैंने आज पार्लियामेंट में कहा है कि आप जो छपी हुई किताब और जो सोशल मीडिया के दौर में, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया के दौर में 2014 के पहले की जो कहानी है, जिससे कि देश का बहुत बड़ा वर्ग अनभिज्ञ है, उसको जानकारी नहीं है, उसके ऊपर पार्लियामेंट में आप चर्चा करा लीजिए। पार्लियामेंट में चर्चा हो जाएगी तो गांधी नेहरू परिवार का जो मक्कारी का, भ्रष्टाचार का, जो अनैतिक संबंधों का जो जखीरा है, जिसके कारण भारत आज भुगत रहा है।
So while the nation expects debate on the budget, jobs and inflation, Parliament is stuck in a different fight. Book versus book, slogans versus slogans, as politics reigns supreme. With Piyush Mishra in Parliament, Bureau Report, India Today.
Sardar versus Ghaddar, book versus book. Let me now throw it open for a wider discussion. Bhavya Narasimha Moorthy is the national spokesperson of the Congress party. Siddharth Yadav represents the Bharatiya Janata Party. Aarti Jerath is a senior journalist and a political commentator, as is Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, senior research fellow at the Institute of Peace and Conflict Studies. Bhavya Narasimha Moorthy, is it civility or decency calling a fellow member of parliament a traitor or my friend traitor or words to that effect, madam?
You know, most importantly, let me be honest. I was really very interested in this debate because I want to make one statement before everything else. Whether it is about Nishikant Dubey or all these issues, this is only Nishikant Dubey was one of these minions who was sent by Narendra Modi to save his face because he couldn't come to parliament to face the real issues. Real issues like why his name is in Epstein's file. Real issues like why MNREGA thing is not discussed. Why people died in Indore, drinking contaminated water. All these issues, US trade deal, where we have a lot of questions. Why that? It's like totally different from what Trump announced yesterday, the Secretary of State announced, and what Piyush Goyal is speaking today. It's like contrary to this. There are so many important questions here. But all he had to do is, from his rule book, took out the rule where, he can bring in Nehru, send in these minions like Nishikant Dubey to disrupt the whole thing and save his face. Exactly.
Now that
why
you've
he
said
didn't
that,
attend
would you want to
Parliament
answer
either.
my question? Because my question to you was very specific. Is this civility or decency, calling a fellow member of parliament my traitor friend, or words to that effect, madam?
Because he is a traitor. If people are not ready to answer the real issues, when national security is in risk, then it is the duty of opposition to point
call a
it
fellow
out.
MP a
And
traitor?
when you do not, even the speaker for that matter, he's not letting the opposition leader even speak. He lets Nishikant Dubey speak for 5 minutes. How just is that? You don't allow the leader of opposition to speak. You bring out all the rules. He's speaking about the present, about the real issues. You don't want him to speak. You don't want him to speak about national security. You don't want to speak
Fair
about the
enough.
book written by the
Siddharth Yadav, okay for the
BJP
BJP to label any leader, especially leader of opposition or other protesting MPs, Desh ke dushman, but be outraged if Rahul calls Bittu my traitor friend? Siddharth Yadav?
Gaurav, I think I can't understand how big of an irony it would be that you're asking a question about civility to a Congress spokesperson who's calling an elected member of parliament, a member of the Lok Sabha, a minion on your show. Is this civility? Is this what Congress party's politics is about today?
Because that's in your
Is
rules
this
book,
what
to
Congress
send
party
people
thinks
after the
is
LOP,
healthy in a democracy?
to disrupt
Madam, I was
Parliament.
not speaking while you were speaking. Have the courtesy to hear me out. You have said enough.
Go
You
ahead,
said
go
enough. I
ahead.
was hearing you patiently.
Go ahead,
Now
go
have the
ahead.
courtesy to hear me
I
out.
can handle
The
everything
reality is
that
the
you
Indian
say.
politics is hitting a new low every day, Gaurav. The Indian politics is hitting a new low every day because of leaders like Rahul Gandhi and their spokespersons like the madam sitting on your show. You think that it's all right to call elected members of parliament millions, and you think it's all right to call a union minister who comes from the Sikh community, that community which has laid down life and blood and sweat to save this motherland, a traitor, and you think that's all right?
Community,
I am
you're talking
sorry.
about community.
We are on different pages.
The first
we
Sikh Prime
cannot
Minister
be on
was
the
from
same page.
was
I'm
from
very
Congress.
sorry. You're
The
calling
first Sikh Prime Minister
a
was
Sikh
from
leader
Congress.
of this country.
Don't play this
You're calling a
community card
Sardar a
here.
Gaddar.
He was talking
I'm
to
sorry.
the individual. He's
Gaurav,
talking
this
to
can't
the
be the way your
individual.
show is
He
conducted.
did not.
I was
Don't
not
play your
speaking while
community card here.
while this
The
woman was
first
speaking.
Sikh
I did
Prime
not utter a
Minister
word.
One by
is
one.
and
Gaurav,
was from
One by
Congress.
one.
I reclaim my 30
Don't
seconds.
play your community card. He was
One by
addressing the
one.
person,
Ma'am,
not the community.
Ma'am,
Don't
Mr.
try
Yadav
your
did not interrupt when you
rules
were
from your-
speaking. My request to you, ma'am, is permit him to complete his point. I'll come back to you. He did not interrupt when you were speaking, ma'am. Go on, sir.
Gaurav, I think this has become a new fashion for the Congress party. You don't let the parliament conduct in a proper manner. You don't let debates conduct in a proper manner. What has happened? What has happened to this Rahul's Congress? Rahul Gandhi is calling a leader of the Sikh community, a union minister of our country, a traitor. A Sardar cannot be a Ghaddar. Sardar Gaddar nahi hote. But this, this mindset of the Congress party and this mindset of the Gandhi family, which comes from entering into the Golden Temple and Bedbi karna, and after that 1984 riots, the massacre that the Sikh community had to face, and now in 2026 you stand on the stairs of the temple of our democracy and call someone a traitor. On what account? So many leaders have left your party. You welcome them back. Alka Lamba, your leader, left the party. You welcomed her back.
Okay,
Is she a traitor?
let me bring in...
Parties like TMC, NCP, all of them are factions from the Congress party. All of them left. But you don't call them a traitor. But you choose to call a Sikh leader a traitor. This is the mindset. And this is unacceptable, Gaurav. Unacceptable.
Okay, let me bring in Aarti Jerath.
You cannot do
Aarti
this.
Jerath,
But Rahul Gandhi thinks
Parliament
so
for
high of
decades.
himself. He thinks,
absolutely.
Meri
Sir,
Tanashahi is desh.
Sir, you made your point. Aarti Jerath, has Rahul Gandhi given the BJP an issue on a platter? Why call Bittu a my traitor friend, or what's to that effect, Aarti Jerath?
Well, firstly, I think, Gaurav, we have to put that remark in a context. I don't think he was calling him Deshdrohi. He was calling him traitor to the Congress party because he left the Congress party on the eve of the elections, joined the BJP and got elected on a BJP ticket. So Rahul Gandhi is calling him a traitor in that context, and he added that you will come back to the Congress. So it was very clear what the context was. The BJP is obviously trying to gain political mileage because Punjab elections are coming up in 2027, and they would like to make political, sort of harvest out of this. But, Gaurav,
which is why my question that Congress has given an issue on a platter to the BJP instead of keeping the focus either on General Narvane's book or on the Indo-US deal, as Bhavya was just pointing out.
But go on, ma'am. Plays out. But I want to make two quick points. Yes, one is that it is absolutely unprecedented that the Prime Minister is not allowed to give his reply to the motion of thanks for the President's address. I don't think in all the years that I've covered Parliament, this has ever happened before. And I think this is really a matter of shame that the Prime Minister was not allowed to speak. Secondly, I am very disturbed by the fact that Parliament seems to become a forum for name calling. You had Tejasvi Surya accusing Rahul Gandhi of being anti-national, Rahul Gandhi hitting back, then, now this whole traitor lob coming. I mean, what is this? This is Parliament which is meant for debate, or is Parliament meant for name calling? And I think
today, the temple of democracy, you're absolutely right.
Today, Nishikant Dubey took it to a new low when he pulls out these books and he goes back into history and talks about debauchery of Congress leaders. I mean, Gaurav, is this what Parliament has been reduced to? I think this is something, we need to resolve. Otherwise, the whole system is going to crack.
In fact, that's the question I'm coming to. That's the question on resolution. We report on conflict and conflict resolution. It's happening in our midst in the temple of democracy. But Abhijit, is this a Rahul Gandhi self-goal? Everyone sympathizes with Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. They've lost their father to terror, grandmother to terror. Ravneet Bittu is again a victim of terror. He's lost his grandfather, Sardar Singh, to terror. Completely uncalled for attack on Ravneet Bittu, or it's banter between colleagues and party men?
Look, calling somebody a traitor is never banter. But since Ms. Jerath wanted to bring in context, let me bring some more context in. On the 1st of January, 1923, a gentleman called Motilal Nehru, along with another gentleman called Chittaranjan Das, left the Congress in protest against a gentleman called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, and made a party called the Swaraj Party, which then which criticized the Congress and contested the elections. So I'm wondering if Rahul Gandhi would consider Mr. Motilal Nehru also to be a traitor to the Congress then. Number one. Number two, I think there are lots of Congress old guard themselves who would consider Rahul Gandhi a traitor to the nationalist ideas of the Congress. Remember, this is called the Indian National Congress. It taught Indians what nationalism was. Today, the scion of that family and the leader of the party is telling you that nationalism is bad. Anything to do with national pride is bad. Basically, you have to be a globalist internationalist. So many people would say he has betrayed the ideals of the Congress. He's betrayed the ideals of his grandmother. He's betrayed the ideals of his great-grandfather. I think in terms of traitor, Rahul Gandhi needs to be very careful, because that is an epithet that can equally be applied to him ideologically and to his great-great-grandfather.
Okay, both Aarti Jerath and Bhavya Narasimha Moorthy want to respond. Yes, Bhavya wants to quickly respond. Go on, ma'am.
I can't believe Abhijit just compared this person Bittu with Nehru. This is like Uncomparable.
They're both human beings, madam. They're equal, There is no
gave
superior
all
human
his
being.
property to the Congress for the freedom struggle. Do you get that? And his son spent years, his
Just
youthful
look at
years,
the
in
arrogance.
jail for the country.
Just
Do you
look at
get
the
that? Are you
arrogance.
comparing
Look at the
Bittu with Motilal
arrogance.
Nehru?
He
Are you
considers
seriously
Motilal
out
Nehru
of
to be
your
a
mind?
superior human
Are you
being.
out of your mind
This
to
is the
even
kind of
compare
feudal
that?
mentality.
And your
This is why
nationalism
they are
part.
a Manuvadi
We
party.
are against
They are
your
a complete Manuvadi
pseudo-nationalism.
party. They believe that
We
they are
are
somehow
against
that
your
their ruling class is
pseudo-nationalism.
One by one.
You're
Sir,
out of your mind to even
just let
compare
Bhavya complete her
Bittu
point.
with
I'll come to you.
Motilal Nehru.
Just let Bhavya complete her point, sir.
Patriarchy
This is
in this
just
country.
unacceptable.
They are the ones who
I
never
can't
wanted.
believe
Ambedkar fought
Abhijit,
against this
listen to
party.
me.
Remember
Abhijit,
this.
listen to me.
Ambedkar's
Listen
entire
to me.
fight
Next
was
time when
against
you
the
compare,
Congress
please
party's
use
Brahminical
a little bit of
patriarchy
your
on
One by
gray
one.
India.
cell.
One by one.
Please use
One
your
by
gray
one.
cell before comparing
One by
personalities.
one.
That is Motilal Nehru, for God's sake, who gave his property, whole property to the
He's not superior.
freedom
He's also a
struggle,
human
and
being.
his son spent his youthful years in jail for the country.
So,
all right? So before
Beant Singh gave his life for
comparing,
the
what are you
country.
even comparing? Then
Beant Singh gave
it
his
was
life
the
for the country. You
ideological
are comparing
difference.
jail time to somebody
Today,
who
this
gave his life for
person
the
left
country.
Congress. Then it was ideological
Are you
difference.
seriously comparing a man who was
This
killed by
person
terrorists
quit
for
Congress
protecting
either
the
because
unity of the
BJP
country
blackmailed
to
him
somebody
or
who spent time
traded
in
him.
jail? Are you
He left
seriously
Congress
Siddharth
comparing?
Yadav into this conversation.
Listen
I
to
want to
me.
move forward
Let me
because there are
speak.
multiple points that I
This
want to
man
raise.
left
Okay,
Congress
all
either
faders
because
down.
he was
Siddharth Yadav.
blackmailed.
You know, the point that the Congress party is also raising is let the opposition speak, let at least the leader of opposition speak. If treasury benches won't let the leader of opposition speak in parliament, then they say we will not let the Prime Minister or the treasury benches speak. There has to be a resolution, sir. Why not let LOP speak?
Gaurav, just please allow me 20 seconds to respond to my learned friend from Congress party. I want to just highlight the kind of mentality congressmen have today. How can you compare Bittu with Nehru? Are who was Bittu? Bittu's grandfather had just laid his life for the country. But he didn't do wine and dine, so you can't compare him with Nehru. Bittu has no contributions. Bittu is a union minister of our country. But how can you compare? Don't compare. This mindset of the Congress party that Rahul Gandhi and the entire Gandhi family is above everything. You know, they are on cloud 9. Everybody in this country is just peasants. ये सब इनके गुलाम हैं. इन लोगों को हमसे कैसे compare किया जाएगा? This is the problem. This allows them to call people traitor. This is point number 1. Point number 2, Gaurav, on the question that you asked. Who is stopping the LOP to speak? Who is stopping? Is he the only elected member of this party? I tell you, forget everybody else. Forget everybody else. In the family only, there's a leader called Priyanka Gandhi. In the last session, she spoke for so long. Did anybody interrupt? The problem is that the LOP of this country today thinks that the parliament has to function according to his will. He thinks that if he stands in the parliament, everybody has to stay mum. Everybody has to bow down. Everybody has to listen to what Rahul Gandhi is saying. I am sorry. We are a democracy. We are a 21st century Bharat. Parliament is the temple of democracy. It will function according to rules. If you can't quote a book which is unpublished, you can't quote a book. You can't do it. If you are Rahul Gandhi, I am sorry.
Bhavya wants to respond to that.
To your party members.
Bhavya wants to respond to that. Only Bhavya now.
But you can't do it in parliament. This is the reality we can't accept.
These BJP people are such hypocrites. You know who stopped the leader of opposition from speaking in parliament? The speaker, who is acting like a puppet of the ruling government. He turned his mic off. He did not allow him to quote a book from an ex-army chief. He doesn't trust him. But he allowed Nishikant Dubey to quote from a random author's book today for 5 minutes.
A book which is not published.
You are hypocrites.
Where is the book? How can you quote something which is not published?
You didn't allow that book to be published.
By
you people.
What are you saying? If a book is not published, it is not published.
You
it cannot be quoted in the parliament. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Hold on for a moment. I want to bring in Aarti Jerath because perhaps these are the kinds of scenes that we're also witnessing in parliament. And Aarti Jerath, you know, there's always a back channel. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister would reach out to the leader of opposition or somebody in the opposition. There would be a meeting in the Speaker's office over a cup of tea, and Parliament has excellent tea. None of that appears to be happening. Are the battle lines are the divisions too sharp? Is there no common meeting ground now?
It looks like that, Gaurav, and that's what is so tragic. That, listen, to resolve this, both sides have to step back a little bit. Only then can you have a compromise. But both sides seem to be absolutely, stubborn and obstinate and stuck on their positions. So how do you resolve this? And you're right about back channels. Back channels have always been there. And that's how Parliament has managed to function for the last 75 years. Where are those back channels today? They seem to have disappeared. There is no interlocutor anymore who can sit down with the opposition party and parties, actually, because in this case, all the opposition parties were united. And that's how the Prime Minister was not allowed to speak today. But, it is.
And that's
really
unprecedented. The way the women MPs from opposition, they went to the Treasury benches.
I have never seen this. I have never, in the 30 years that I have covered Parliament, I have never seen this kind of thing where the Prime Minister stopped from speaking. But I think
I want to play out. Look at those images. Look at those images. All the opposition MPs at Treasury benches.
The government was actually caught unprepared. I don't think they anticipated this kind of unity and this is what they would do. And actually, it speaks quite poorly of the government's floor management that they were not able to anticipate this and stop it. Because at the end of the day, it is humiliation of the Prime Minister. And I think that is something the government should have avoided, should have definitely avoided. And it is very sad that the opposition managed to get away with this.
No, and tomorrow, what happens at 11 o'clock tomorrow, Abhijit Iyer-Mitra? Because there is this Lakshman Rekha between a legitimate protest and what the BJP describes as misconduct inside the Lok Sabha. Has that Lakshman Rekha now been crossed?
It has, Gaurav. Sorry, let me reply. It has been crossed. That Lakshman Rekha has been crossed.
It's been
Please,
crossed.
Abhijit, carry on.
Okay, Abhijit.
No, I don't think it is. I think all protest in Parliament is legitimate, including these ladies protesting. Look, it's a tactic you use. Is there any particular rule in the book that says you can't use this tactic? No, it is all allowed in Parliament. So I don't think any red line has been crossed. I don't think any of the rules of decorum or whatever are covered in this particular protest. I think it's a particularly legit protest. And I, for one, I understand where Ms. Jerath is coming from, that she's very frustrated with Parliament functioning this way. But I mostly watch Parliament for entertainment, and I can tell you I'm getting my money's worth.
Oh, no, we watch it because that's the temple of our democracy.
Parliament is not meant for entertainment, Abhijit.
I know,
because I watch Parliament because I really want to know what are laws being made for me.
Somebody who has watched Parliament for so many years, I expect more than it. I expect not.
You look at the Sengol there, you look at the discipline that you expect. Absolutely. If I may, because this is the temple of our democracy. This is where we see our lawmakers. They represent us. They make laws for us. And this is where I want to know where my government is moving forward. I want to see the opposition put the government on the mat and the government respond to the opposition. But Bhavya Narasimha Moorthy, it's now just protest versus protest. So Congress will raise General Naravane's book. The BJP will say that Congress has insulted Sikhs. Or then the BJP will come out with this long list of alleged corruption from Nehru to Rajiv Gandhi. Where does it leave people like us? Where are our laws being made?
First, I want to say, ma'am, you spoke about the Prime Minister's humiliation because the female MPs went and protested, right? But I think that was not humiliation. That's their duty. But he humiliated himself and the chair, the PM's chair, which was so respected for all these years when his name appeared on Epstein's file. There is no bigger humiliation than that to Narendra Modi as well as the PM's chair. First thing.
Okay, I want to bring in Siddharth.
Yes.
I want to bring in Siddharth because I want to stay on the issues that are current today. Siddharth Yadav, isn't this arrogance of power, BJP not reaching out to the opposition, find a middle path, let work happen? Because after all, if the opposition can't protest in the temple of democracy, government runs the country. Let the opposition at least have its say in Parliament, sir.
Gauravji, let me ask this question to you with all the humility. What is that the government is not doing that used to happen? Are we not conducting the BACs? Are we not doing an all-party meet? Are we not meeting the opposition members? Is the Parliamentary Affairs Minister not in touch with the leaders of the houses? What is it that you're not doing? And what is it that requires that the Congress Party's MPs, which is unprecedented, female MPs would walk up to the chair of the Prime Minister? What do you have to do in power that would prevent that? What do you have to do in power so that, such a kind of an act by female MPs carrying a poster of the Prime Minister when he's supposed to address the House after the President's address, they walked up to that seat and does not let the Prime Minister address the House? What do you do? I don't understand who's drawing these lines. I don't understand.
We're going to
what
watch.
Is it that the
We just
opposition
hope
wants,
tomorrow
or what is it that
the Parliament
opposition
functions, raise all points democratically, thrash them out democratically, verbally. But we'll be tracking that story very closely. A privilege to have all of you as part of this discussion on the show. Many thanks for watching me. Welcome back. News just coming in from Mumbai. A major accident was narrowly averted, and this happened in Mumbai's Goregaon West area. Watch these images on your television screen. There was a massive ball of fire inside the elevator. Fortunately, no major explosion. So this incident took place, as you can see in these images. It's a residential building. There was one man who moved in with a lot of balloons inside, packed together. There's a lady with a bag, she moves back, two gentlemen move in, and suddenly there was a loud blast, a ball of fire, and everyone rushed out. I want to quickly cut across to India Today's Mustafa Sheikh joining us with more on the story. Mustafa, I hope no one was injured. What happened?
Well, 3 people were injured, as you can see in the CCTV of the lift, Anmol Tower, Goregaon West in Mumbai. This is celebrations turning tragic. This was a birthday celebration. Balloons filled with hydrogen gas were taken inside. They are highly inflammable, and that's where the people used to need to understand that the decorative materials which are being used these days can actually cause harm to adults and also especially to children. In this case, you can see we don't know what triggered this blast, but the hydrogen gas supported it. It was inside a lift, and you can see there were burn injuries to the 3 people who were there, especially the lady inside the lift, because she was facing towards the balloon when this incident took place. All 3 of them have suffered burnt injuries, but no lives were lost, thankfully and fortunately, and that's why we're saying a major incident was averted. But yeah, it's a freak accident which should raise awareness about the decorative items which are used during celebrations, especially with children. Back to you.
Oh, absolutely horrifying images, Mustafa. For the moment, many thanks for joining me. Latest images that are coming in from Balochistan. The Baloch Liberation Army has released videos of coordinated attacks on Pakistani military and paramilitary positions in Noshki. And Noshki is the area in Balochistan where Baloch Liberation Army fighters, they not only overran Noshki, but they took control of the district collector's office, abducted the deputy commissioner of Noshki, his assistants and several others, and they overran the city. There are some reports that seem to indicate that the Baloch fighters are still in control. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khwaja Asif on the floor of Pakistan's National Assembly said they are no longer in control, or words to that effect, that the weapons and systems that the Baloch fighters have much better than what the Pakistan army has. I want to quickly cut across and bring in India Today's Pranay Upadhyay for more on this. Pranay, what's the latest? Attacks started on the 31st. Is the Pakistan army still not in control of entire Balochistan?
There are various disturbing reports coming from the Balochistan areas of Pakistan, Gaurav. And these reports suggest that there are still some contested areas, be it in Noshki, and people are reporting via social media that the gunships are being used. So you can very well make out that, how heavy weaponry is being used by the Pakistan military to contain the situation there. And there are still, some areas where the Baloch fighters are giving them a very tough time to Pakistan military, despite the, Pakistan military using these heavy weaponry, and a lot of force is being mobilized in this area. And not only Balochistan, you also know, Gaurav, that, the Tiraha Valley and other areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa are also, giving tough time to Pakistan military, and there have been, warnings given by the Pakistan military establishment and authority to the locals to vacate that area, and they are all prepared to launch another operation like Zarbe Azb.
But can Pakistan continue to fight on multiple fronts in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and in Baluchistan? Baluch fighters have claimed that more than 280 Pakistani security forces personnel have been killed as part of Operation Herof 2.0. The Pakistani forces insist they've killed more than 150 Baluch fighters. We'll track developments on the story very closely, but do keep in mind, Baluchistan, about 350,000 square kilometers from Quetta down to Ghaddar and Pasni. Multiple coordinated attacks took place, some that are still on, and we'll get you more on the story. That is all I have for you on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.